does it feel like this era of PlayStation just has such a different vibe about it? Like the original, this is my first gen of the PlayStation since the PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 5 is the first time I have had all 3 consoles since that PlayStation 2, and it's been great to have it. But the reason I started this gen was because of the PlayStation 4. Like the PlayStation 4, I kind of missed out on, but it was just banger after banger after banger. E3 2016 was the absolute, to this day, like one of the best press conferences, if not the best game press conference I have ever seen in my lifetime, at least. And it was just an amazing era, the PlayStation 4, with just all these amazing single player hits that, yes, was starting to get a little bit repetitive to me because it was just kind of the same engine and the same look and the same thing over and over in terms of a single player narrative blockbuster adventure. And I want to see PlayStation experiment more. But what I didn't realize is how much of a monkey's paw that was. Because now we're in this era of what I call the lull of PlayStation, the PlayStation 5 era, the era that really at the beginning started off great, right? Or am I wrong? That's what convinced me. Like, I definitely wanted the Xbox Series primarily, but I just thought, this is the era. Like, that'd be cool to finally have both. Within the first year, you got Spider-Man Miles Morales, you got Sackboy Big Adventure, remake of Demon's Souls, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Like, the first year of PlayStation 5 was so killer. And not just that, it had such an amazing launch lineup. Not launch lineup. It had an amazing first few years of announcements. They made us feel like there was so much on the horizon, whether it was exclusive, like Final Fantasy 16, or immediately I can't think of anything else at the time. Please fill in the blank there, because I know there's more. And then there's, like God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, the things that are going to be another year or two out. But it just felt like you can't miss this. You can't miss this PlayStation 5 generation. And so while the start of this generation was fire, and that's what pulled me in, this lull kind of started around 2023. In 2023, that was when we got God of War Ragnarok. We got Final Fantasy 16. We got Horizon Forbidden West. We got these things that we're looking forward to. And then it just kind of felt like we were relying on partners. And I kind of still feel like that today. Basically, right now, it feels like the PlayStation 5 is where the launch of the Xbox Series was. And the Xbox Series is where the launch of the PlayStation 5 was. Like, they had this crisscross.
What?
But there's something about the success of the PS5 that is still happening that really bugs me. And that success is still so prominent that even, speaking of Xbox, they are now publishing so many games to PlayStation now. And that's kind of where this, sort of last rant of the video is going to go to. But I think it's fair to understand why, for instance, the last PlayStation showcase we got, the thing that you would get every year at E3, every year after E3, they left them, PlayStation. The last legit showcase PlayStation did was, I believe, in February of 2024. And it's funny because there's going to be some folks that think I'm hating on PlayStation, but I feel like I was one of the few people that really liked that showcase. I really liked the PlayStation showcase in 2024, but a lot of people didn't. A lot of people were just like, where's Santa Monica? Where's Naughty Dog? Where's all those established studios? And I'm just like, well, the first party studios were here. We got to see their new teams, basically. We got to see Destiny. We got to see Marathon announced. We got to see Concord. Now, I know how Concord went, but at the time, we wouldn't know how that would go. And of course, a good trailer for Helldivers 2, which would become a massive success for PlayStation. And these games are kind of a big part of what's happening with PlayStation right now. This era that, it just feels like there's this lack of roadmap that the PlayStation 4 had. The PlayStation 4, we knew Spider-Man, we knew Horizon Zero Dawn. We knew God of War 4. We knew so many things that were coming and kind of constantly rolling out and just banger after banger. And that's, again, the PlayStation 5 start off that way. But now we're kind of at this point that we have Death Stranding. We have Phantom Blade Zero. We have these other things that are kind of carrying PlayStation. And even so, in that same showcase that a lot of people didn't like, the reason they didn't like it, by the way, I didn't say that, but it's because they just didn't have those big, third-person action adventure narrative games that PlayStation became known for in the PS4 era. I didn't mind that. It ended with Spider-Man 2, so whatever, there you go. But after that showcase, Xbox put up this thing that was just like, here's all the games that are coming to Xbox. And it's funny because they've been doing that spicy shenanigans after every state of play. There was a state of play that was this year that it was like 30 games shown, but literally there was only like 2 of them, maybe 3, that were PlayStation exclusive, that were PlayStation first party. And that's the lull I'm talking about. Like the thing that got PlayStation to where they are now, and kind of a part of my rant, is, their exclusive acts and those third person narrative games. And since we haven't been getting that, what have we been getting is the leftovers of PlayStation investing billions with a B, into their live service plans. They had Blue Point working on a God of War multiplayer game. The people that are the kings of remakes, you don't even have them remaking a significant PlayStation IP or game. You have them making a live service game. You have Ben Studios, the people that did Days Gone. They were working on a multiplayer game, canceled. You were making a Twisted Metal game. And that's the thing about that whole live service plan. I was one of the people that was kind of for it. I like the idea that PlayStation was trying to experiment and give more than just that third person narrative game. It's just the level that they invested. And a live service or multiplayer Twisted Metal game sounds amazing. And they had all these multiplayer games planned, and then they just canceled all of them. They canceled like 10 or a dozen live service games that each, who knows how much got put into it or how far they were, including Naughty Dog doing a Last of Us thing, which I understood, by the way. Like, have Naughty Dog focus on making great narrative games. That's just what they do, at least now. So like, and the live service thing would have just costed more. Anyways, like I understood it, but like, the thing that I have the problem with now is how much they gambled on it. And because just Concord failed and Helldivers 2 succeeded, it's funny, like Helldivers 2 succeeded massively. Concord failed horribly, but they look at the failure more. I just kind of wish they didn't cancel all these live service games, but they just canceled a few of them, But they just canceled so many of them, and now we are at this spot that, okay, what is Santa Monica doing then? What is the next, like we're just kind of wondering and don't have a clearer roadmap. And that's not why I bought a PlayStation 5. I bought a PlayStation 5 because of just all the banger after banger after banger that was on PlayStation 4 from their studios that I knew I could only play on PlayStation. And yeah, there's stuff like that on the way, like Wolverine, but we haven't heard a peep out of it since literally 2021. There's Intergalactic from Naughty Dog, but who knows when that's coming. We got Saros from Housemarque that we know we're going to get a gameplay look sometime this year. And of course, Ghost of Yotei. Like, I'm not saying PlayStation is totally like drop dead silent, but I think the reason that it's bugging me more so is maybe a little bit of console war shenanigans. I've never liked the console wars. What I did like about them is the competitive aspect of it, because that just kind of made both sides outdo each other. And it bugs me that Xbox is just going on all cylinders now. We have a massive roadmap of things in mind. We don't even know what a lot of the studios are working on. But we do know a crap ton that the studios are working on. We know Elder Scrolls 6 is happening. We know Fable is happening. We know there's another team that's working on another Forza game. We know that the Clockwork Revolution. We know State of Decay 3. We know Perfect Dark. We know Gears of War E-Day. Like, there's just all these things, and even things we haven't even heard about in years, like Everwild or Contraband. There's all these games that Xbox is turning out, but it doesn't mean jack shit. And the PlayStation 5 keeps selling, and Xbox kind of knows this. It's almost like PlayStation could just keep getting away with it, and even Xbox is acknowledging it, that like people just won't shift. We'll put Expedition 33 onto Game Pass, but every gameplay video I look up of Expedition 33, they are playing it on the PlayStation. They're paying full price to play it on PlayStation instead of using Game Pass to play it, and that's kind of telling to me. And I think that's really at the core, when I think about this, that's what's bugging me, is that PlayStation kind of gets to get away with this. And that, I guess, exclusives matter so much more than accessibility. I didn't really think that this would go there, but that's true. It's really amazing me how these state of plays, these lack of showcases, there's just all these things and questions about PlayStation that I just keep having my PlayStation collect dust. Yeah, I could boot it up for these other things, but again, to me, exclusivity doesn't matter as much as accessibility. I'm playing Expedition 33 on Xbox, and I'm playing Doom the Dark Ages on Xbox, and I am playing, if I want to play Oblivion on Xbox, I play it on Xbox, because I just can with Game Pass, and that's not on PlayStation. But that doesn't matter, because the most sold games on PlayStation are apparently Xbox-owned stuff. I think like Oblivion killed it last month or something. And that's just the prime example. It's just like PlayStation gets to get away with this. It's kind of a big topic. I want you to ask the question. Like, are you crazy? Or what? Why would you say this? Or do you really believe that? What do you think? How long are we going to be in this lull from PlayStation? I think 2026. Late 2026 is probably when we're going to be, this lull is the sandwich, and the hype is like the bread of the PS5 generation.